Welcome to Judge of Ghana TV. Akwa Baba, Judge of Ghana TV.
And I therefore appeal to the youth and I encourage you that this revelation that has come, the youth of this nation, fight against foreigners lawfully, underline lawfully. The future of this country is going to the foreigners. May the Lord be with Ghana. Amen.
That was Apostle Nana Kwate Amanfo. And these were his words concerning the threats ahead of the youth of Ghana and the future of Ghana. If action is not taken now, I'm going to make a suggestion that there are three things that Ghanaians, especially the youth of Ghana, and those who want Ghana to be the best that it can be, as we say in Twi, yeah, your pesa or mine fan and tumapa efrano. Yeah, your pet sadiano. Nema will say you focus on because so one year, New Patriotic Party versus National Democratic Congress. In some here, and a yebe does it really matter whether the member of parliament in a particular area is from the New Patriotic Party or the National Democratic Congress? What really matters to people is the good works and the vibrancy and the improvements in services in your area and in your life. Your living situation must improve, and your environment and your living conditions and the roads and the schools. These are things that are important to people in any area. It is not about which party is in power, really, because we're all Ghanaians after all. It's just that the party color is what the vehicle people have chosen to be voted into power. But really, there has to come a time in this country called Ghana where our leaders are not chosen on party lines. Now let's listen to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the President of the Republic of Ghana, in his first, or should I say inaugural address to the press after 8 months of governance. Let's listen to some of his words and then we'll continue.
I'm pleased to have the opportunity through this media encounter to address the good people of Ghana through you and answer any questions that may be on the public's mind. It's been 8 months since I was sworn into office and 9 months since you, the people of Ghana, went to the polls and gave me a clear, resounding mandate to lead our country into a new era. That December 7th vote was a call not just for leadership, but for a change of direction, for honesty, for accountability, and for a reset. It was for a different kind of governance, one that listens and one that acts.
In today's episode of Judge of Ghana TV, we ask the question: is the governance of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama a governance of listening and addressing and acting according to the desires and major concerns of the indigents or citizens of Ghana? That is the question.
I would like you to like, share, subscribe if you're new to this channel.
At the GoldBod, we've been doing more than business as usual. Since our inception, the GoldBod has initiated aggressive licensing reforms to promote responsible sourcing of gold and other precious minerals, strengthened regulatory controls and oversight over the gold supply chain, introduce a transparent and competitive pricing system for licensed miners and licensed gold buyers, deployed robust aggregation systems to effectively mop up gold from all mining regions and districts of the country, removed major incentives for gold smuggling, such as the scrapping of the 1.5% withholding tax on unprocessed small-scale gold, and intensified the fight against illegal gold trading and smuggling through the establishment of the GoldBod task force with reward for whistleblowers. These preliminary measures, ladies and gentlemen, have begun to pay off already, as they have led to record high gold exports, both in volume and value this year. Since January up to the end of August 2025, small-scale gold exports undertaken by or through the GoldBod, working closely with the Bank of Ghana, have hit a record high of 66.7 tons, with an export value of approximately 6.3 billion United States dollars. What this means is that the volume and value of small-scale gold exports from January to August 2025 alone have exceeded the total small-scale gold export outing for the whole of the year 2024. That is from January to December, which stood at 63 tons with a value of about 4.6 billion United States dollars. It is also instructive to note that the small-scale gold exports continue to surpass those from the large-scale mining sector, which stood at 65.1 tons with an estimated value of approximately 5.6 billion United States dollars for the period between January and August 2025.
So I believe the word small scale mining is an euphemism for illegal mining, Galamsey. So just because we're earning a lot more from Galamsey than large scale mining in terms of what is exported doesn't make it right, because we're also encouraging mass genocide. More and more people are being impacted by the negativity of of small scale mining, which is Galamsey. The effects, the negative effects, it's affecting us all. And this is a problem. So, you see, we shouldn't let the love of money override our health, because your health is your wealth. How are you going to get people to be productive if they are ill because of these chemicals seeping into our food chain and our water chain as a nation? This is genocide in action, encouraging small scale mining without banning it and dealing with cleaning the waters and the land is going to lead to, it is basically genocide in action. This is what is going on. Let's carry on.
We shall support mining communities with portable water systems, modern education and health facilities, scholarships for brilliant but needy students, among others. We are further committed to supporting the cooperative mining scheme launched by the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources and aimed at formalizing the artisanal small-scale mining sector while creating jobs and increasing national gold output. My brothers and sisters, I strongly believe that the time to maximize gold production and optimize national benefit is now, given the current unprecedented favorable international market conditions for gold. But this cannot happen without the needed financing for the value chain. Sadly, current financing models for mining in Ghana are too conservative. We need African capital structures.
Nice, laudable words, lawyer Sami Gyamfi. The Gold Board's corporate social responsibility plans sound great for these small scale mining areas, which I say illegal mining Galamsey areas. But how is it possible to bring potable water to these areas? What you're saying is an antithesis to the very act of encouraging illegal mining, Galamsey. There's an Akan saying that goes like this: Yenjina nkrane mu entutu nkrane. And this is what the governance of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the GoldBod he has instituted since January, coming in January 2025, seem to fail to understand. Yenjina nkrane mu entutu nkrane. It just doesn't work. You have to clean the filthy, poisoned water and the poisoned land. You have to heal it. Stop ban Galamsey first. Clear the water and the land. Train the small scale miners, those who were doing Galamsey. Monitor them closely to make sure they are following the responsible mining route. Reissue the licenses to them and monitor them. And then you can be assured that they are not destroying the water bodies and the lands. But if you can't do that, then you have failed us, the citizens of Ghana. Let's carry on.
We're going to look at what's actually happening on the ground, because there's something called the public face and the private face. So the things that politicians say in the public may not necessarily be what is happening in the private. And the private is the true state of the situation. So we'll look at the reports that are coming through, and the question is GoldBod a scam? Let's look at the evidence. You've just heard from lawyer Sami Gyamfi. He's the CEO of the GoldBod, and he has given his latest update from January 2025 till end of August 2025 concerning what GoldBod has done and what they're going to do going forward. That is his perspective. But there is another side. I would call that this perspective that lawyer Sami Gyamfi is speaking about, the public face of the GoldBod. But the question is, what is the private face? And what is not eradicating illegal mining? What is the cost of it to the nation? What is the true cost? And amalgamating everything into the GoldBod, calling illegal mining Galamsey, calling it small scale mining, and justifying it by saying that you got more revenue than even deep mining, than the big mining companies. The revenue generated from small scale mining, which is essentially illegal mining Galamsey, was more. From January to August, the quantum of gold that has been extracted through illegal mining Galamsey, which has been called, or is being called, small scale mining, because responsible mining is not going on largely in small scale mining in Ghana. It's not being enforced. It's not going on. If you listen to all the good work of
Erastus Asaridonko, especially in his travels all over the country to all the illegal mining sites. He's saying a different story, and what he's saying is contrary to what Sami Gyamfi is saying. It seems like, and we heard recently, if you look at one of my previous episodes, I talked about Johnson Asiedu Nketia, Honorable Johnson Asiedu Nketia, the chairman of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, who are the ruling government. He essentially said he doesn't believe in stopping Galamsey now, which is basically alluding to banning Galamsey. Some people call it, putting a state of emergency on Galamsey. But fine, if you don't want to put a state of emergency, you can still ban it, as far as I'm concerned, because we ban food in this country. If a certain food, like plastic rice, is being infiltrated into the system, or bad tomato ketchup. They recently closed down a factory, Tasty Tom factory. They closed it down here in Ghana because they said the goods they were manufacturing were below, were not environmentally safe, and the methods they were doing and the products were substandard. So if you can do that for Tasty Tom tomato paste, there's really no excuse for not doing the same when it comes to illegal small-scale mining Galamsey, because since you have not put any plans in place for responsible mining as yet, and you're just allowing them to do their illegal mining, saying that you're going to teach them. But there's a saying in Tree, and the saying goes like this: that is what is the underlying reason why Ghanaians are asking for a ban on illegal mining or all small-scale mining activities, because you cannot be condoning illegal mining, small-scale mining, Galamsey, while you're telling us that you're going to make these Galamseys responsible miners when you have not actually done it. There's a process in life. If you want to eradicate something, or you realize that something's a menace, first you got to put a stop to the menace. So you must stop everything. Stop everything. And if it's war, it's war. Yeah, get the soldiers involved, because, as I said, small-scale mining would lead to nationwide genocide. It would lead to nationwide genocide. We all die from poisoned water and poisoned food, because the water from the water bodies leaks into our pipes, through our pipes, and they also come through the food we eat, the food chain. Any food that is grown in these areas, because where they extract Galamsey, illegal mining, they do illegal mining, is going to come through into the food chain, so that we, the people, will consume this poisonous food and will get all sorts of diseases, like increase in cancers, stomach damage. We're talking about kidney failure, all sorts of diseases, skin diseases. Even we've heard all sorts of stories about babies being born with missing body parts in Ghana here. It's on the rise. All these diseases that we never saw in this country because of illegal mining, Galamsey, and this small-scale mining that has become something else, an animal that our leaders, NDC and MPP, seem to think they can't stop it. Look, in life, anything that you put your mind that you're going to stop, you can stop. It's like saying that, oh, I can't stop drinking. I can't stop smoking. I can't stop acting in a way that is offensive. You can stop. You can make a decision to stop, and you stop. You just don't do it anymore. And when you see you're slipping, you check yourself. That is what they call self-control. So to say that you can't, I listened to Johnson Asiedu Ketia the other day, and I was so disappointed. He said he can't. He can't, and he seemed to think that, oh, it is okay to do mining. But the people are doing mining the wrong way, because it's cheaper to go the illegal Galamsey way and get the gold. But to what benefit? You are spoiling everything, the environment, the water, and you are killing the people. Yes. Let's start. It was interesting to hear Sammy Gyamfi said that he was going to ensure that the corporate social responsibility of the GoldBod will be pointed at communities where small-scale mining takes place. He was going to offer scholarships, portable water. Let it make sense to me. How do you offer portable water in areas where illegal mining, small-scale mining is taking place, when the methods that are being employed in these small-scale mines is actually creating polluted water and polluted lands? How do you say? It's like it doesn't add up. You're going to bring water, portable water, to these areas when the whole reason that the whole mining activity methods being used in these areas where you're going to bring portable water is being done to actually spoil the water. It doesn't make sense. Let it make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. It seems like it's at odds with your corporate social responsibility, because you're entertaining something that is not good. It doesn't make sense. So this is what I've got to say about what Sammy Gyamfi is suggesting. It doesn't make sense. You're going to offer them scholarships for needy, brilliant children in these communities. These are all nice words, but let's pull the rag and see what is under the dirt that is under the carpet. Let's see what is under the carpet. Let's pull the carpet off and see what is under the carpet in this GoldBod and the way they're approaching the GoldBod. Because we see in this world, if you don't follow the right order, everything you do will be wrong. You see, they had to be able to fight this Galamsey illegal mining menace. You need to first ban illegal mining. Clean everything, the water bodies and the land. That's the first step, and it involved the illegal miners in doing this because they caused the mess in the first place. After you've used this, apparently there's technology there. Apparently there's technology there. So after you use the technology to clear the place, and you stopped illegal mining for a while, then you reissue the licenses after you have trained the people, and then you have a very strong monitoring system to make sure that they are actually complying with the responsible mining methods. If not, you revoke their licenses. Also, in these sites, these illegal mining sites, a lot of foreigners have stealthily entered the country, and they are controlling these illegal mines. And even though it looks like the GoldBod has managed to amass a lot of gold and stuff, still, without a doubt, some of the gold is still being smuggled. It's without a doubt. And so the GoldBod has tried to put things in place to prevent the gold being smuggled, everything going through the GoldBod, so Ghana will get more revenues, and that's a good thing. But the fact that the menace is still going on, 8 months, 9 months after John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, took over as President of Ghana, means that you haven't done enough concerning gold, eradicating Galamsey. You need to do it. You need to do it. You need to stop Galamsey now, because if you listen, I want you to watch this video from Joy News, and what people are saying and what they're saying. Basically, watch the video. After that, we'll talk about it.
I think the issue of Galamsey, we have not tackled it well enough. And this country is not serious about tackling Galamsey. Now, I am in Aguna Suidru, and currently Kwenyako Dam has been shut down. Kwenyako is nowhere closer to a Galamsey area. Yet because of its impact, the place has been shut down, and we are having serious water problem. You see, I believe that if the government doesn't take serious measures to fight for this Galamsey, we are going to have dire consequence. Because very soon we may be importing water. And how many have the ability and the financial wherewithal to import water into this country? So government will have to look at serious ways of fighting this Galamsey. Now the water, they cannot actually refine the water or treat the water because the turbidity levels are very high. The whole machine is closed down. The whole system is closed down. Until when are we going to get it restored? Now, the Ghana Water Company is transmitting the cost of purifying the water or serving the water to the customer. What have we done? What did we go wrong? Are we Galamsey miners? We are not. Yet we have to pay for the inefficiencies and the ability of somebody.
I think they are not ready to deal with it. Even in my area, I stay at Sakumono. We are not having water as I'm talking to you now. We buy water always. It's affecting everybody. And it's the politicians. If only they want to deal with it, they can do it. We are all in it. So we are watching them. Whatever they want to do, they should go on and do.
But we want to plead with them. It's gotten to a stage where they really have to think about the citizens of the land. We have also people who are not having access to good health facilities, and they are in those places where these mining things are going on. And if we all don't come together to work it out, I believe one way or the other we will be affected.
Galamsey way, I don't know what is going on now. Government biya ba so okun Galamsey. They biya omo okun Galamsey, so they biya Galamsey is still going on. We are just praying, say, enko can't be Adam ne wo no. Yes, adia ye nyina ye besa da so mu bio. Ahokyere wa Ghana dada. Na nsuo keke nso a nke ye the cheapest commodity or mining mu a. Ukita peso express utimi to nsuo no. Se adia ji yakraba.
Basically, what this video is showing is that utility bills are going to go up, and according to the PURC, who monitor the pricing of utilities, water especially, and electricity, are saying that the Electricity Company of Ghana wants to increase electricity prices to the customers by 225%. That's what they're proposing. And the Ghana Water Company wants to increase the cost of, or the price of water to its customers by 280%. And if you look at the reasons, is especially with the Ghana Water Company, is to do with the massive increase. There's an increase since His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo left office and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama entered office. So MPP went out and NDC came in. There's actually been an increase in illegal mining, Galamsey activities in Ghana. There hasn't been a decrease. So all these sweet words that Sammy Gyamfi has given us, I call them sweet nothings. Because for me, I've said it, and I'll keep saying it. There are three things essentially that need to be dealt with in this country for things to go well. And so far, National Democratic Congress, if nobody is telling you, I'm not an NDC person, I'm not an NPP person, I'm a Ghanaian, a Ghana first person. And I'm saying, and most people in Ghana are Ghana first, because we won't vote for you. We are not committed to any party. We are committed to the person who has made a commitment to improve our life and our circumstances and create the conducive environment for us to thrive. So if you come into power and you're not doing what is going to be conducive to us, the citizens of Ghana, the people of Ghana, we are not going to support you. We are not moved by your party colors, because it means nothing to us. We are moved by Ghana colors. So if and so far, the areas I'm going to talk about are the areas that National Democratic Congress Party, the ruling party of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, you are failing at these things. Don't let anybody delude you that you are succeeding. We, the Ghana First people, will tell you the truth. There are three areas that so far the government of John Dramani Mahama is failing at. Let me go through the areas. First, the eradication of Galamsey illegal mining. You are failing. It doesn't matter the nice word, the sweet nothings that lawyer Sammy Gyamfi gives us concerning GoldBod. You are failing, because the evidence on the ground is that you are failing. There's an increase in the Galamsey activities. That is why the Ghana Water Company wants to increase the prices. And unfortunately, we, the innocent people who are not involved in illegal mining, are going to pay the price for these illegal miners. We are going to pay the price. So you're failing on one, you're failing on eradication of illegal mining, Galamsey. You haven't stopped Galamsey now. Two, you're failing to protect our borders and our security as a nation. Evil people, evil foreigners, evil criminals have entered into Ghana and are entering. Sometimes they come as good people. They might even have gotten Ghanaian citizenship the right way, but they are evil people. And they have entered into this country called Ghana, and they are destroying Ghana. They are doing all sorts of unsavory things, criminal acts, breaking the law left, right, and center, taking advantage of the Ghanaian citizens, the true indigenous people of Ghana, doing all sorts of, and taking over our jobs when they are not even supposed to be working in those areas. I've mentioned it before. The areas that they need to look at is construction. There's private security companies, the people who are working as security officers. Some of them are not, in fact, many of them are not Ghanaians. And of course, we know about the retail space. So you are failing at one, eradication of Galamsey illegal mining. You're also failing at weeding out evil criminal foreigners. You're failing. And thirdly, Operation Recover All Loot. Once I heard Dominic Anyini say that he has accepted the plea bargain of Unibank persons who were accused of siphoning money illegally, of doing criminal acts concerning monies. Once he said he was going to accept 60% of what they owed and then settle the matter in a plea bargain, I knew that we're headed for a car crash concerning Operation Recover All Loot. And I mentioned it. I've done videos about it. I knew that that was it. You can check my playlist. It's there. I've done a little deep dive into Unibank, and the story is not the best. So now it has become Operation Recover All. It's not Operation Recover All Loot anymore. It's now Operation Reward All Looters. So you loot massively from the country, then you go and sit down with the Attorney General and do a plea bargain, and you decide that you're going to pay a portion of what you have looted, and then keep the rest for yourself. So you're just going to play the system, and then after you've kept the rest for yourself, the government of Ghana will not even criminalize you, because if you pay 1 peswa of what they claim you have stolen, in a plea bargain, not only should you accept the money from them, you should also find them guilty of the crime, and they should be written somewhere that we've accepted your plea bargain and you're also guilty, because it's an admission of guilt. If you accept the plea bargain or you come to plea bargain, it's an admission of guilt. So guilty must be attached to the plea bargain, because Dr. Kwamna Dufo of Unibank is going around saying that he's done nothing wrong, but he's paid 60% of the money he's supposed to have looted, but he claims he's done nothing wrong. And we are sitting here and it doesn't make sense to anybody. Everybody knows that he has done crimes because he has admitted it in accepting and negotiating a plea bargain. That's an admission of the crime. So it should be written somewhere that we accept your plea bargain, but we take it also that you are a criminal, and because we have accepted the plea bargain, you have received suspended sentence, or you will not be taken through the judicial a criminal court system. But it is enshrined in law that if you have accepted the plea bargain, you are guilty of the crime. You're just not going to spend time in jail. So we have stopped the criminal proceedings against you, but it's an admission of guilt. It needs to be enshrined in the plea bargaining process. Otherwise, it's pointless. And you know what? If these 3 areas are not addressed to the satisfaction of the populace of the Ghanaian citizens, the voting persons, 2028, the ruling party, National Democratic Congress, are going to have a problem marketing themselves to the people of Ghana. They're going to have a problem. They're going to have a problem. Because by that time, we'll all be fed up, if most of us haven't died by then through poisoned water and poisoned food. Because you are not going to do anything about stopping Galamsey now. So all those who went on all these protests, it was a waste of time. You know, our leaders, they don't think about the people. They don't care. This is the fact that these 3 areas, eradication of Galamsey, 1, dealing with criminal foreigners entering the country and destroying the country, taking over jobs that they're not supposed to be doing. Look, somebody was saying, I listened to some submissions, and somebody was saying, you know, our Ghanaians have to look at things a different way. Fine, but the law is the law. Isn't that what you say here in this country? The law is the law. And the law says that there are certain businesses that foreigners cannot engage in. So it's the law. If the foreigners are breaking it, then they should be taken out. It's the law. Until we change the law is the law. Let the law work. Finish. That's what I have to say about that. I would like you to kindly download these 2 free ebooks: Daily Devotional on Leadership and Unmasking Corruption in the 54 Nations of Africa. Kindly go to www.kofi.com/coachwright. The link is in the description below. Thank you. In terms of oral, I've told you, if you recover loot and you don't criminalize the people you've recovered the loot from, it's a pointless exercise. You have not achieved anything, because it will not deter anybody from stealing further, because they know they will steal and come and plea bargain and they won't be criminalized for it. So you have achieved nothing. Basically, I said something when at the beginning of January, when His Excellency John Dramani Mahama took over. I said, if they don't do kululu, and then everything all the cases become beans. All the cases become beans. Look, why should we be harboring criminals, foreigners who are criminals in this country? They are engaging in crime. If you are doing a job you're not supposed to do, it's criminal. A lot of undocumented foreigners are in Ghana. I've seen them around. Yes, I've even spoken to some, because I like asking questions. When I meet them and I hear the accent, I know they are foreigners. When I ask them, some of them will be trying to hide, I'm half this, I'm half that. But it's clear, because when you hear them, they can't speak Twi very well. Some of them will try to speak Twi with an accent, so you can tell that they are not from here. Some of them can't speak at all. And unfortunately, some of our Ghanaian people too can't speak English that well, so they sort of try to use sign language and stuff to communicate. And then you find out that these people are not even from here, but they've got jobs. Somebody is paying them. So there's a collusion. They're in cahoots with local Ghanaians. And unfortunately, when you marry, a foreigner marries a Ghanaian, they can, after some years, get Ghanaian citizenship legitimately, and they will have children who can be classified as Ghanaians, as well as wherever their father or their mother comes from. So because they have caste, so that you can't stop. And if you look at the people who tried to go and close the shops at Aboto Okain, the story there was that people were complaining that some of the store owners were complaining that they are married to Ghanaians, and the store is actually owned by a Ghanaian, and it has been sublet to them. So there are all sorts of stories. Some of them are saying it's owned by their children, and so they are basically just workers, but whatever the case may be, you're not supposed to work in retail, whether you're the store owner or you're a worker. There are certain jobs that are closed off. You need to come into this country, if you're a foreigner, to open businesses and employ people. It's like the investment packages that all the countries say. They are looking for people who are going to come and invest, create businesses, be business owners, create jobs, if you're a foreigner. But if you're a foreigner who doesn't have the wherewithal to do that, you're basically not welcome to take jobs in this country that local people must take. That is the law. You're welcome to visit, come on holiday and stuff, but don't go for the jobs that are assigned for the locals. Look, there's a saying, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. When in Ghana, do as the Ghanaians do. If the Ghanaian law says this is what you do, you follow the law. And if you don't follow the law and the law catches up with you, well, you face the consequences. And there was a lady in the UK. I think she's from Bangladesh or somewhere originally. Shamima Begum. Her name was Shamima Begum. And this Shamima Begum, she was British born, but of, I think, Bangladeshi heritage. And she got herself in all this terrorism. She married somebody who was part of a terrorist organization. And at the end of it all, her citizenship was revoked. Even though she was born in the United Kingdom, her citizenship was revoked. So at the moment, she remains, because her parents are from Bangladesh, she can go and take Bangladeshi citizenship. But I think the status at the moment is that she's stateless. And she's not being accepted back into the United Kingdom because she's seen as being part of a terrorism group. This is the extent of how the West deal with people who disobey the law or do things that are considered to be a threat to their country. So if somebody has got their citizenship the legitimate way, because they married a Ghanaian, had children and stuff like so, and they've taken the Ghanaian citizenship, even though they weren't born in Ghana. If they engage in criminality, their citizenship should be removed, ostracated from them. And we can't take this foreigners, evil criminal foreigners issue. We can't keep trying to sweep it under the carpet. We can't. We can't keep trying to push it under the carpet because Ghanaians don't want to be, if we're not careful in the future, our lineage will end up being slaves in their own country. This is what happened to South Africa under apartheid. And apartheid was to do very much with the financial power of a group of people who were not indigents of South Africa. They were basically imported foreigners, imported evil criminal foreigners with a criminal mindset that they're coming to South Africa to take over. So it doesn't matter whether the color of the skin of the imported persons, whether they are black people or not, is their mindset. And clearly the mindset of some of these foreigners who are imported into Ghana is that of criminality. The other day, in the last post I did, as soon as I put up my info story on YouTube, because I only have a YouTube channel when it comes to Judge of Ghana, it's only on YouTube. I had an Igbo person, I think they call themselves Shashil Angel Media, came and put some nonsense comment about how they think I'm scared. How can I be scared? I fear no one. So I gave him a nice response, and how the Igbos are going to come with their sophisticated weapons and seize Ghana. And this is what I wrote. I wrote on the social media comments. I said, the Igbos have not even succeeded in subduing the Biafran army has not even succeeded in subduing the Nigerian army in their own backyard. And they think they can come to Ghana, the great Ghana, and seize Ghana. I think they don't understand history. They should look at their history. How the Nigerian army starved the Biafrans, the Igbos, in the 60s. And if you look at the Ghanaian history, how the British, even I'm going to talk about the Asantes because I'm an Asante. How the British colonizers couldn't overcome the Asantes, and they had to sort of broker a treaty with us. It took them how many years? Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years to even broker any treaty with us. That is why up to now, King Charles respects Otumfuo Asantene. Because they know the history. When King Charles was being coronated, there was only one king. It wasn't somebody from Nigeria. It was the Asantene from Ghana who was invited to his coronation. So please, I know you call yourself the giants of Africa. You can be your Goliath in Nigeria over there. But we are happy to be David. Ghana is the David of Africa. You can be your Goliath. We all know what happened to Goliath. And we all know what happened to David from the Bible. So Ghana is the David of Africa. And Nigeria is the Goliath of Africa. So they can be their giants, we'll be our David. After all, we are a small country. But that doesn't mean that you can overcome us. Because we have God here. And we walk with God. And we walk with God in truthfulness, largely. And as they say, Ghana for Yisro Nyame. We fear God. Ghanaians largely fear God. That is why we are not so violent. It takes us a long time for us to get angry, because we have the fear of the Lord in us. And that is what is keeping Ghana grounded and Ghana blossoming. That is why when there's something planned, an evil takeover is being planned, we have prophets that see deeply and can forewarn us, so that we can put all the right steps in place to prevent what is they've planned for us in the future. That's why Ghana has been able to escape a lot of traps. Because God has given us foresight. And we are slow to anger. When you're slow to anger as a people, you advance faster. That's why Ghana is largely well put together compared to the giants of Africa, the Goliath of Africa, which is Nigeria. Because we are slow to anger people. We study things, we watch things, but when we are angry, it's very hard to quell our anger. And at the moment, with this foreigners issue, foreigners, undocumented, illegal foreigners must go. Because if somebody is basically a criminal element, they will rather be undocumented so that they cannot be traced and caught. So a lot of if there's going to be any criminals who are in Ghana, who are trying to fly under the radar, it will be the undocumented persons. And there are a lot of undocumented persons. If the police and the immigration service just even walk down the streets, a lot of the people who push trucks selling accessories on the street, a lot of them are foreigners. You just have to look at their faces and you know they are not from Ghana. And then when you speak to them, oh, it is clear. So it's not difficult to know where to go. Go to Liberia camp, which has now become Nigeria camp in Kaswa. You'll find them there. So it is not a case of you don't know where to find these illegal persons. It's a case of enforcement. Does the Ghana government have the wherewithal and the willingness to enforce the law and capture all these illegal persons and send them back to their country, whether they're from Nigeria, Mali, Niger, wherever they are from, or China, because the Chinese too are another dangerous people. There are a lot of them are into illegal mining, the Chinese. So we have to be very careful about that as well. And for me, I've seen things, since 2006, I had a dream. And I woke up from the dream laughing, because I saw in 2006 that Ghana was full of Chinese. And some of them were even half-caste Chinese. And they were speaking Twi. And so I looked at it and I said, wow, I laughed and laughed and laughed. I came out of the dream laughing. I couldn't believe it. The whole country was full of Chinese and half Chinese. So if we're worried about the giants of Africa, the Nigerians, the Goliaths, importing criminality into Ghana, we also must look at the Chinese as well. So look, I've given you so many places to look for them. So with that, I would like to leave my message here and say that there's an underbelly brewing under GoldBod, and sometimes we have to listen to our prophets, because Prophet Telvin Soa has been saying that in years to come, if things are not sorted out in terms of eradicating the illegal, undocumented persons out of Ghana, we will have an issue. And if you look at what Prophet Telvin Soa is saying, he said the where they call Niger Town will be in the Pram Pram area. Is that not where the Igbo king in Ghana, Chikudu Jude Yinatu, said he has bought land, the 50 acres? Prophet Telvin Soa's prophetic vision suggests that truly, that land, that 50 acres has been bought by this Ihinatu secretly. And he's planning to do this Niger Town in that area. And one day to become a headache for Ghana. It's a bit like, I think, is it the Israelites accepting they tricked a certain tribe, tricked the Israelites to accept them. I don't know whether they were the water carriers, and they became a thorn in the side of the Israelites, because it wasn't God's will for them to allow them to come and be amongst them. So sometimes you have to take out certain miscreants out of your orbit so you can have your peace. You don't even have to be associated with them, because look, evil communication corrupts good manners. It's in the Bible. Evil communication corrupts good manners. If you live with evil people and you're not careful, you become as evil as them. So if you live with people who are bringing important criminal mindset into the country, it's going to affect the people, and they will become criminals too. Look at the rise in Yahoo. Look at the people they've arrested and extradited to the US to face justice concerning Sakawa or Yahoo. Some of them are Ghanaians. There's a rise in that. A lot of our youth are involved in Yahoo. I deal with youth, and a lot of them are involved in Yahoo. And it's a dangerous thing that's happening, because they have learnt from the Nigerians. Because the Nigerians, they're already here in Ghana. But the question is how to control it going forward, so that we don't have an issue like how the water carriers were thorn in the side to the Israelites. We don't need Nigerians to become a thorn in the side of Ghanaians, or even Chinese to become a thorn in the side of Ghanaians, because Chinese, they're the ones, and the Nigerians, they're the ones that can afford to import all sorts of weapons and cause trouble for us at a later date. You don't have to condone them. Put the stops in place. And I don't think the embassies will be against Ghana putting stops in place to stop criminal elements from Nigeria and China and other African countries or other countries coming into Ghana. I think they'll be very happy.
Na enkra no ejina homa Ghana fo no. Ntokwa na wo mo kono so ejina homa se. Wo mo twa mo hu ko ntokwa wa bra e wo so mo defend your nation. But omo ko omo ho na kankane no mbo wura mu ombe sisa anam ne nuane no de ko mu di no mu echiche nkrama no so de pie free yard no mu no ejina ho ma anonefo a wo mu dore wo man num a e wo so man num fo ka bom ne wo mu kontokwa eji oman no omumomu kontokwa e wo mo ho e na amanonefo afa ase ewi oman na sade ko na so oman na hwe yi ade enti amede kankane kire wo no se kankane yo kofo kankane ku osen ade ochichi ade moa na mo ahwe yi a oman no bekwa kodi amanonefo ho na oseye kese be bunkama for oman no so a wo mani ni omu ho so fi se oman ma no ku omu ho ntokwa tina na nkra no ko agyae omaso wie nsem omu ko na nso so na kankane aba wuram ti omu ahu na ntokwa ni tina omu ahu se kankane ayede aba wuram na ode meti na mu akonwa na o kire me to wie ye no na o se ka kire oman no mpanyimfo amanyofo akandifo two political party heads na ka kire ahemfo ne ahema na ka kire asofo won edi domanim nyina na o se oman no kontokwa ya ko yehu ntokwa na foreigners awura ase na o mo fa yasade ekọ na eri ni nabi kankane na odi gina oman kankane wo ko oyokofo mo hu ti no mo chinkrama ni bi no mo de o ma pie free yard no mu no nti ya nhwe yi a oman wei ebedi amanonifo nsem wa bra oman nipanyimfo anini o mo ho so owie na osesan tu ahemfo beka o mo ho abom agi oman no wo mo kontokwa mom na amanonifo efa ase wiade na wo senkam ahemfo ene oman ma ne ka o mo ho bom ekogi oman ni si ho no wo mo momu na eko o mo ho ntokwa. The traditional leaders, political heads, the clergy, asem na urade dia soma me ama oman no. This is a deism. Urade dia deism kora oman or the bokoko on fancy yade. To se men kan kire mo. Oman no nkofo a wo mo ye foreigners o mo hu e fa ase e fa biribi. E na yen oman ma ne ye ko ye ho ntokwa ye tan ye ho ne ye ko ntokwa na o mo fa ase nti na odi nkra no ejina ho ma me saa kwan ne so. Enne 7th September 2025 me did the apostle na kwatin amanfo vekin Solomon of our time nyansa chiame de awurade de suma me na me de amammo kan na mpanyimfo yi mo anhwe amfa ani so a enye se bia wanya sika obeto fia buchira akọ se bre no so na ntokwa ne hyase a na mmom awurade yo ketuafo a de ye na sede se wanye biribi no wanye no obetima tua ne ka wo ba bi owo bia enti me de me yo soma I decrease for God to increase. I am just his messenger. Na di ye no mu do. Ti me sere mo hwe yie. O man man wo se me mom kokose munya mo ho ntokwa. Youth munya mo ho ntokwa. Na youth no mun kam mom positively. Na mun fight for the nation lawfully against evil foreigners. Kings and queens. O se men kan kire mo. Ene obehwe no na we anyway, we do ma hene ni na sante hene ntokwa apagya ne ade ti adi ye we baaye no nam se ene mo sempa mo beka mo ho abomagye o man na si wo no mo mom na mo kom ho ntokwa na kankane bowura ya ade num se de oyi kire me o nkra na kom ntokwa sa ba bra na nkra no nko ye no owo oba no de o nsa no bɔ no ekure ba no de o nsa na bunti na ɛhɔ ye sanitized MPP ni NDC ko we buru wa bra mo beka bom aboro foreigners ye evil criminal foreigners. Inti adi ye na aba no. Oman ni kodi foreign sorry na mun hwe yie. Mun kam humom. And I therefore appeal to the youth and I encourage you. But this revelation that has come, the youth of this nation fight against foreigners lawfully. Underline lawfully. The future of this country is going to the foreigners. May the Lord be with Ghana. Amen.
So with that, I conclude my episode here. If you like this type of content, I like to like, share, subscribe. And as I always end my episodes, I say Ghana first, always. Bye for now and see you in the next episode. Bye for now. Bye.